Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Chickenz here, back again with our Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity video, and today's video is going to be yet another character guide video. So if we take another look at the poll I posted a few days ago, as we all know, Mipha won pretty easily, but if we look at who came in second place, it's actually a pretty close race between Revali and Moveset, with Revali barely winning by 4%. So in today's video, we'll be taking a look at the moveset of the Rito champion Revali. So as we all know, as the member of the Rito, Revali mainly specializes in aerial combat, and a lot of his movesets and his strengths as a character really reflect that. But opening up the attack menu for Revali, we can see here all of his combos, his abilities, and his unique action. And as you'll probably notice, he has two different sets of attack combos, so I'll be going over each one of these combos in detail, as well as show you guys some things I didn't really tell you about on this screen. Also, as a quick note, I already beat the game and did everything, so these are all the combos you can unlock as Revali. So if you guys are still playing pretty early on in the game, you may not have all of these, but you can still check them out if you want to, or just come back to the video later whenever you guys do unlock them. Before I get things started, please make sure you guys subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I will be posting a lot more Age of Calamity videos, so please subscribe if you don't want to miss any of those. And now that all the intro stuff is out of the way, let's start things off by taking a look at some of his basic abilities. Alright, so kicking things off with the dash attack, which pretty much every character has. So you perform this by sprinting and pressing Y, and then when you're doing this when you're playing as Revali, he's gonna fly forward and shoot 3 bomb arrows directly in front of him. And this is mostly just useful for clearing out enemies and doing damage while you're on the move. Next up is the unique action, which you use by pressing ZR. So Revali's unique action is really different from most characters, as when you press ZR, he'll go into a mid-air mode, which will completely change all of his combos. You can tell when you're in this mode, as you'll see like little air updrafts like air current around Revali. Also, when you're in mid-air mode, you can still use Sheikah Runes and apples like normal, but you're unable to use any of the elemental rods. So if you want to use them again, you have to land, which you can do by either pressing ZR again or just pressing X. And finally, if you beat the main story and enhance his ability, the air updrafts around Revali while you're mid-air will do a little bit of damage to enemies around you. Next, I'll just show you some of his weak point smash animations, which you use by pressing X when the enemy shields are down. And then wrapping this section up is his special attack, which is pretty basic. It just does a bunch of damage to enemies within a certain area. Alright, so now we'll start talking about some of his Sheikah Runes, and we'll start with Cryonis, which you use by pressing L and A. So Revali's Cryonis is probably one of the best ones in the game, and when you use it, he'll spawn 4 Cryonis blocks in front of him in a pretty wide area. And because it covers so much ground as well as spawns 4 blocks, it makes it really easy to stun any mini bosses who may be charging at you. Next up is Stasis, which you use by pressing L and X, which is pretty much the same for all characters. The only difference is that after you use it, Revali will shoot some arrows into the sky, which falls on the frozen enemies. And then if you press B right after he shoots the arrows, you can cancel the rest of the animation and make the stasis last a little bit longer. The bomb rune is used by pressing L and Y, and for Revali, he spawns 4 bombs and throws them a pretty good distance in front of him. And finally, Magnesis is used by pressing L and B, and Revali's Magnesis is pretty similar to Mipha's, as it absorbs metal weapons as well as enemies and does damage to them.
Amazing.
Alright, so for attack combos, as stated earlier, Revali has 2 sets of combos based on what state he's in. So we'll start by looking at all of his grounded combos first. The first one is his YYY, which he does 2 regular attacks followed by a flurry of regular arrows. This one I find solid overall, and it mainly uses to do damage to mini bosses. Combo number 2 is his YX combo. So first he'll do a regular attack followed by a strong attack where he flies into the air and shoots a bomb arrow below him. I rarely find myself using this one, but I do think it could be good for clearing out enemies if you're surrounded or if you're just trying to take an outpost. His last grounded combo is his YYX, so for this one he does 2 regular attacks followed by a strong attack where you'll pick up a nearby enemy and slam them into the ground. And if you're successful in picking up a nearby enemy, shortly after you slam him into the ground, you'll get an opportunity to press X again to follow up. And if you do that, he'll shoot a flurry of bomb arrows at the enemies around him. Alright, so moving on to his mid-air combos, which there's a lot more of. So first off, we have his 7 Ys combo where he shoots 6 regular arrows followed by a bomb arrow. And the arrows he shoots with his regular attacks as well as the strong attacks cover a really wide spread, so I find this combo really useful for clearing out large groups of enemies and taking out outposts. So next up is his YX combo where he does a regular attack where he shoots arrows followed by like this weird sky strong attack type thing. So this combo is kind of bad in my opinion. I rarely ever used it. I just find all of his other combos are way better than this one. Combo 3 is his YYXX combo. So he'll shoot 2 arrows and create a massive whirlwind in front of him that sucks in surrounding enemies. And then shortly thereafter, you'll have an opportunity to press X again for a finisher that splits the big whirlwind into 3 smaller ones, which will cover a little bit more area as well as last a little bit longer doing extra damage. Combo number 4 is his YYYX combo where he shoots regular arrows 3 times followed by a bomb arrow. And then when he shoots his bomb arrow, you have the ability to control it with the left stick, and then once you have it where you want it, you just press X again to shoot it. This combo is pretty solid overall as it still covers a large area with its shots, as well as gives you a little bit more control on the last shot where you actually want to shoot your arrows at. Combo 5 is his YYYYX combo, which is again 4 regular arrow shots followed by a strong attack where he'll dive towards the ground and create a tornado in front of him. This tornado lasts around 3 to 4 seconds and travels a decent amount forward and sucks in all nearby enemies. This combo is probably my favorite one as I found it good at doing damage to both large groups of enemies as well as mini bosses, and it's especially good for the Taluses as the tornado is able to reach their weak point really easily. Combo number 6 is his 5 Ys and an X combo, so for this one he'll shoot 5 regular arrows, create a whirlwind after that, and then shoot a bomb arrow into that whirlwind area. So this combo is probably my second favorite as I find it pretty versatile taking out large groups of stronger enemies, but I do find it's a little bit weaker than the last combo of fighting mini bosses just because it covers such a wide area. And our last combo is the 6 Ys followed by an X, so this combo is the exact same as the last one, the only difference is that it adds an extra regular attack. Alright, since now we know all the abilities and attack combos for Revali, here are some quick tips you guys can use while playing as him. First I'll go over the weapon steals I find best for using Revali. This one is pretty easy and my plan is just to use all mid-air attack damage steals and maybe one attack speed steal on my main weapon for him. And because all of Revali's best combos are used while he's in mid-air, these mid-air attack damage buffs will get a ton of use. And I'm also adding that one attack speed combo just so I can get combos off a little bit faster as well as get a match for his level 30 hidden seal. But other than the weapon steals I plan to use for him, I really don't have that many tips for using Revali. I find him a pretty straightforward character to use, and you can probably tell through most of his combos, his main strength as a character is to do damage to large groups of enemies. So because of that, I do recommend that you guys switch characters if you're ever fighting a more difficult boss. Revali is definitely not bad at fighting bosses, and he can definitely hold his own, but I just find other characters are a little bit better. One other small tip I have for you guys is just to switch out of mid-air mode when trying to move around the map. When Revali is mid-air, it's a little more awkward to turn, so I will just switch to grounded mode if you're trying to get around the map quickly. And I also recommend you guys stay in grounded mode when you're fighting the harder bosses just because it makes it a little bit easier to dodge their attacks. And then right before you about to attack them, just switch to mid-air mode really quickly and launch whatever combo you want to get off. This does take a little extra time, but it is worth it because it allows you to avoid taking any extra damage. Alright guys, so that's gonna wrap up the character guide. Those are all of the abilities and attack combos for Revali. Next up is going to be your boss, so I'll probably get that video out in a couple days from now, and then after that's going to be Daruk, which I'll probably get out sometime this week, so subscribe if you guys don't want to miss any of those. But if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.